Welcome back to Brandon's Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Billy Quach, who is an NFL freelance media person along with Let's Let It Fly Media. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good, Brandon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you got started being a content creator in the NFL?
Yeah, it's kind of a long story, but I'll try to give you the short version of it. I went to college at the University of Arkansas. I did broadcast journalism, and that's kind of where I started to learn how to make videos and make content, and started to learn that that's actually what I wanted to do outside of college after graduating. So I applied to a bunch of places my senior year and got rejected by a lot of places and got a couple interviews here and there. But ultimately, I ended up at the Kansas City Chiefs as an intern coming out of college. So that kind of got my start with them. And then I just took that and ran with it and became full time the next year. And then now I'm no longer with the Chiefs, but I'm with Let It Fly Media as their creative director, as well as now that I'm not with the Chiefs, I also do some freelance for the NFL during the season.
Can you talk about your time with the Kansas City Chiefs as a content creator and what you did?
Yeah, so my first year there, I was an intern and I did a lot of just grunt work, press conferences, shooting locker room interviews, weekly edits. It was a lot of not mundane tasks, but just a lot of the little easy stuff that the full timers didn't want to do or didn't have time to do. So that was kind of my role as an intern. And then as the season progressed, I got a little bit more comfortable with how things were done. So I got to do a little bit more. I got to do some shooting. I got to do some more edits, um, some hype videos, and just started to get my hands in a bunch of different things at the Chiefs. And then that kind of led me to my second year there. They made me full time, which was an awesome opportunity. And I kind of just went crazy with all my edits, with all the content. It was Patrick Mahomes MVP season, so it was really easy for us to make awesome content. And that's kind of how my current bosses now at Let It Fly Media found out about me, and that's how they hired me away from the Chiefs.
Can you talk about, of course, working with the Chiefs and going to the Super Bowl and how that was like?
Yeah, so of course they win the Super Bowl the year after I leave them, but it was awesome because even though I left the Chiefs and was no longer full time with them, I started to begin my freelance career with the NFL and got to shoot for them. So I was still shooting NFL games and um, basically, basically they sent me to the Super Bowl. I got to shoot that, and it was an awesome experience being in Miami this year.
Can you talk about what you do with Let It Fly Media?
Yeah, so at Let It Fly Media, I'm the creative director here, and basically, I'm in charge of all things creative at this content agency, is what we call ourselves. And we basically do content for all sorts of clients across the board, from the PGA of America to MLS to NBA 2K to basically any corporation that's looking for video content. So we also do a lot of private corporations, tech companies, commercial real estate, just trying to make content a little more easier to access and just doing it for anybody that needs it.
What was it like shooting videos at the Arrowhead Stadium?
Arrowhead is super loud. It's an awesome experience and venue, and being on the field, it's really a surreal experience because usually you're a fan, you're in the stands, you're screaming with everybody else, but being an NFL videographer or photographer, you're down on the fields with the players, and it's super loud. But you're there for a job. You're trying to get the shot. So this year it's a little different with COVID. We're in the stands in the first row shooting from there, but normally we'll be on the field, just following the players shooting them. It's an awesome experience.
Who were some of your favorite players whenever you were at Kansas City that you shot?
Yeah, so some of my favorite players include Garrett Dieter, Demarcus Robinson, Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes, Eric Berry. I liked a lot. I was a huge fan of Alex Smith when I joined because he was super nice to everyone. And yeah, I'd say those guys.
During your time at Kansas City, were you able to like talk to some of the players like Patrick Mahomes and like get to know them, of course, outside of course, football?
A couple of them. It wasn't really something I did a lot because obviously I'm there for a job. But every now and then you start a relationship with the players and get to know them a little bit more outside of football. And I've done that with players like the players I mentioned, Garrett Dieter, Demarcus Robinson. They were super nice, and I do some video content for them outside of football, and that's where I get to talk to them and kind of hang out with them a little bit.
Can you talk about how it feels whenever the players like embrace taking their photos or taking like a video of them like during the game or maybe like during a practice?
Yeah, all players are different. Some of them like it, some of them don't. And obviously, the ones that do like getting their photos or video taken of are the easier ones to work with. And those are the players I go after. And guys like Cole Harmon are really great in front of the camera. And like Travis Kelce, some guys, like being in front of the cameras. Others, they shut it out and kind of just focus on doing their thing.
What advice would you give upcoming future sports videographers that are looking to get into the industry?
Advice for other, people trying to get into the industry would be to just keep pushing and never giving up on your dreams of shooting in the NFL. I applied to probably 50 to 60 different sports organizations and teams across different leagues and different sports coming out of college, and most of them said no. Most of them rejected me. Most of them ghosted me. And it was, it just so happened that the Chiefs said yes. So I would just, keep pushing and never give up.
What are some of your future plans with being a sports videographer?
I think it's to just keep doing it. Hopefully, I could keep shooting in the NFL for a while. Hopefully, we do a lot of cool things at Let It Fly Media, and that can grow. But nothing crazy, nothing huge. Just to keep doing it and having fun doing it.
That's wonderful. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Billy Quach Films, Twitter, same thing. Those are my two main social media platforms.
Thank you again, Billy, for your interview, and best of luck in your future with Let It Fly Media.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Brandon.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Billy, for your interview, and best of luck.